Okay, so I thought I'd make this video. It's pretty interesting to me. This is tuning kind of like 101 here. So when you're tuning, you have two ways of doing it. If you take your car to a shop and they put on a dyno, they're going to have all this. They're going to be looking at all this and they're going to be doing the tuning for you. They're going to be data logging when they do the dyno pull, and they're going to be making adjustments, and you're not going to have to do anything. But if you're tuning on the street like I was, you're going to make your own file, and then you're going to have to go out on the street and do your own pull. Now, this pull is a pull from like 50 to 135. This was 2 o'clock in the morning on a 3-lane highway with no cars in sight. So make sure if you're doing this to be responsible with it. Don't endanger anybody. Don't endanger anyone else. And be very responsible with it. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to create a file, or your tuner's going to create a file. My tuner and I were kind of tuning together. He actually taught me a lot about tuning. But you're going to create a file and you're going to load that file, and then you're going to have to take a data log. And basically what you're looking for in the data log is the car doing what the tune wants it to do? We're going to go over some basic things that you're going to look for. Now, all these PIDs that are selected right here, we're looking at all of them. Every one matters, but the ones that really, the ones that most people are going to understand the best, you're going to be looking at RPM. You're going to be looking at speed. You're going to be looking at, manifold absolute pressure or boost, same thing. You're going to be looking at boost. You're going to be looking at your oil pressure, and you're going to be looking at your spark. Here's one of the biggest things. Now, this is going to be, this is going to be what's commanded in the tune, and it's going to do exactly that. So right now, I'm on ethanol, so I'm on flex fuel. Right now I have 82% alcohol in the car, which is really high content. So this is kind of like my all-in timing right here. Okay. Now, this where I have it paused right now is at 6,500 RPM. So this is kind of like all the way at the top. Like this is the most amount of timing my car is going to see. So right now it's seeing 25 degrees of spark. Now, flex spark is basically, well, not basically, what it is how much the car is advancing the timing from its base spark table. The base spark table is going to be on just regular 93 octane, so it's like 0% ethanol. So if this was on 30 or 40% ethanol, the flex timing here would probably be like maybe like 4 or 5 degrees, and the total timing would be 19 or 20 degrees. You're going to look at oil pressure. All your O2 sensors are not going to matter here because they're not, they're not going to be. The O2 stuff is not going to matter because your fuel trims are not going to matter because you're just in wide open throttle. It's not looking at anything like that. Fuel pressure commanded versus fuel pressure the actual fuel pressure, very important. Injector duty cycle. So if you're running, towards the end of the pull and you see like 95% injector duty cycle, that means that you're pretty much out of fuel and you either need to go down on power or upgrade your fuel system. Again, this car has flex fuel, so it's showing that I'm at 82% alcohol. And then here's another very important thing. It's your air fuel ratio, your wideband. So you can set this in different ways. This is the way that is preferred by most tuners, and that is the best way. So you're going to have air fuel, if you're running 93 octane, you're going to have air fuel ratio for that gas. Now when you're running ethanol, the air fuel is different. You need more fuel. If you're running methanol, same thing, it differs. So what lambda is it's just a set value for any kind of fuel. It's just for reading purposes. It just basically allows you to read for whatever read the same value in lambda for whatever fuel you're running. So right now I'm running ethanol, and my commanded lambda, again, air fuel ratio is 0.770. Now that equates to about 11.35 AFR if I was running just like 93 octane or something like that. So that's how lambda works. Now what we're going to do is this is a really good log. My tuner and I spent quite a bit of time kind of going back and forth and getting this really dialed in. So what you're going to do is I'm going to play this from, okay, so I'm not going to play the whole thing, but all right, I'm at wide open throttle here. You could see accelerator is, we're at wide open throttle. 99.6% is 100% on these cars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this back in 1/10 of the speed, and you're just going to kind of look at everything, that I just explained and how it's working. So I'm going to play it, and You can see the air fuel ratio, the commanded lambda 0.770, and we're at 0.77, 0.78, 0.79. We're really close. You can see injector duty cycle is obviously going to be going up as the RPMs increase. More air, you need more fuel. Again, you got to watch out for that. You don't want to get too high on that. You see my boost right now, it's at about 22.5. Oil pressure is good. Fuel pressure, commanded versus actual is a little lower, but it's fine. And now we're getting towards the end of the pull. You see it's at 25.5 degrees of total timing. And then right here, I'm going to let off. And once I let off, then it's the end of the pull. And basically, you're going to record this, and you're going to look over it, and you're going to say, let me pause it real quick. And you're going to look over, what you have set in the tune. You're going to see, how accurate the data log is with what you have set in your tune, and if you need to make any adjustments. So if, let's say, my AFR was deviating too much, we would go back into the fuel, the fuel tables, and we would add or subtract a little bit more fuel depending on where it's going too lean or too rich. Now, you're going to have different software that you tune on. It's not going to look like this. This is just HP tuners, but the idea behind getting a tune, data logging, making revisions, is all going to be the same. So this is just an example of a really good data log and what goes in, just kind of like tuning 101, what goes into tuning.